Hello car lovers driving the 2024 Mazda CX-5 Suna edition. This is just below the all equipped signature. So what to say about this vehicle? Well, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and use a lot of Ross's comments because I think he made the most intelligent comments on this review. I'm gonna start by what he said and then I'll add and subtract to that. The Mazda CX-5 has made few big changes over the years, but it represents Mazda's constant improvement philosophy. Although it does not look that different, this CX-5 is very different from the one I tested in 2018, 6 years ago. However, the small incremental changes keep CX-5 objectively near the top, and it is my personal number one. It is available in 7 models, 2 engines, a 2.5-liter turbo and a 2.5-liter non-turbo, and a 6-speed auto. From a mechanical perspective, Mazda went with old reliable. Base model in Quebec is $34,577, that does include all-wheel drive, all the way up to $47,377 for the Signature. We get the Suna at $800 less than Signature with unique aesthetic qualities. It comes with a unique paint color and also the 2.5-liter turbo. Those are standard. Turbos also get bigger front brakes and the fuel economy is 10.8 liters in the city and 8.7 liters on the highway. Not too shabby. You also get the terracotta leather upholstery. FYI, Bose Audio comes standard in GT, Sport Design, Suna, and Signature models. Only Signature gets the Napa leather. Small on the outside, small on the inside. This is a personal compact crossover. It is also 8/10 the Audi Q5, except more reliable and way less expensive. He says that this vehicle is essentially an Audi for those who don't want to pay the price of an Audi, who want maybe 85 to 90% of the good taste and the refinement, and as a bonus, this incredible long-term reliability. Well, I couldn't agree more. He also makes the remark that he says, contrary to Subaru, and that's when I added on, this vehicle is the antithesis to the Subaru equivalent, meaning to say Subaru is all in for utilitarian and not so much in style, whereas Mazda CX-5 goes all the other way. It's less roomy, it's less practical, however it's so stylish. I mean, you're just gonna fall in love with it. It's so charming. My review now. The exterior styling I think is beautiful. This is a generation that's getting old and it still looks awesome, it still looks fresh, and it still looks at the head of the pack. So this says something about the emphasis that Mazda puts on styling, and I think we're seeing the evolution from the Japanese copycat to the Japanese artistic / good taste in terms of industrial design. And this vehicle is, in fact, all of Mazda is evidence of that. Another thing too is that they're pretty reliable, and they're getting more reliable, as Ross says. That's an excellent remark. So many manufacturers are becoming less reliable. Mazda's becoming more reliable. So that's very good. On the inside now, well, it is not the roomiest. I would say that in most of the larger size competition, you would have room for 4 Rosses here. All right, Ross is over 6 feet about, and all legs, and he would be at home in, let's say, in the Subaru product. However, here in this vehicle, I would say that there's room for 2 Rosses in front and 2 Christophers in back for the long road trip. All right, for things to be comfortable. If there would be 4 Rosses, the 2 Rosses sitting in back would be cozy. So that about situates you. There's not a ton of trunk room, but there is pretty good trunk room. And when you lower the seats down, you can get the barbecue, the 55-inch television, maybe even the 65-inch television in back there, no problem. So I would say that this is a crossover that is very personal, that is very luxurious, that is very tasteful, and meant for the lightweight utilitarian duties. 2 people and 2 small kids that don't necessarily go out with a trailer camping every weekend. And we're not cramped here. It's just there's a little bit more room in a CR-V, let's just face it. I like the size. For myself, if I were to buy the crossover, this is a great size for me. On the inside now, well, the design language, which is aged, still looks good. Ross made the remark, monochromatic, however still very tasteful. I would add, I like the seats. None of the competition, or very few of the competition, offers creme brulee seats or burnt orange seats. Very nice on the part of Mazda. It's very stylish. The seats, they must have changed the foam, because I remember about perhaps 2-3 years ago, I had tried the Mazda CX-5 Signature for a week, and I remember I just did a 2-hour ride and my back was out. Here in this vehicle, there's no problem. I noticed that in the Sport 2 in 2022, no problem. So Mazda seems to have rethought their seat design. It looks the same, but it just feels very different and much more comfortable at that. That was a major strike against it. This CX-5 is still quiet on the road. It's still quiet on the highway. It has a sporty feel, yet it's not at all taxing. Your daily drive will be done well. In the city of Montreal, where I now live in the greater Montreal area, I don't live on the island of Montreal anymore. However, I come here to meet up with Ross. I'm reminded by Montreal's awful roads, awful roads. Well, the CX-5, despite its low profile tires, really handles it admirably. I mean, that's one of the reasons why you buy these types of vehicles, right? You want to deal with the Montreal Trail. It's very competent, very assertive. And I can say that about everything about the interfaces. It's very assertive. It's not tiring. It certainly feels more reactive. And Ross again made the excellent remark, this vehicle feels more like a regular car than other crossovers. That's key comment, right? Because I find sometimes when you're driving those big crossovers, they feel like boats. You're getting all the key things that this type of vehicle has to do correctly, right? High seating position, you feel secure, good engine, average transmission, though it is very reliable. It's a 6-speed. Sound system, leather, heads-up display. You don't get the panoramic roof, but you do get a sunroof, so it's good for you. Maybe not the passengers in back. It'll be a little bit dark there on cloudy days. However, the core tasks, the stylish design, the good taste, it's not just blingy. Like I find sometimes the Koreans, they're flashy, but are they buttoned down German-like? I don't think so. This feels, I mean, the design language of the Japanese, it's really coming into its own. It does have a small infotainment. It doesn't have the flashy infotainment. It has a little bit of piano black here, a little bit of piano black here on these horizontal surfaces, which is kind of like a no-no. But the rest is just so damn good and so tasteful and so classy. And there's thought put into this. This car doesn't drive so well by accident. There's work involved, and it's a winner. And for me, personally and objectively speaking, if you're not all in for utilitarian, I think it's a top 2 definitely. And at this price, I think it's almost a bargain when you consider the inflation we've had of recent. Things seem to be leveling off. But however, I mean, from a price perspective, $46,000 for a vehicle with this equipment, with this level of practicality, and with this level of class and build quality, I mean, in 2024, I think it's a bargain. And that's what I have to say about this excellent Mazda CX-5. I think it's a winner on the lease, and I think it's a winner on the purchase. So it does everything. For the long-term purchase, for the sound personal finances, it's a winner. A vehicle I would buy if you do less than 20,000 kilometers a year, because then the gas starts becoming a factor. And those are my thoughts. So if you like this video, like it. If you don't like it, don't like it. And if you really like it, well then of course, no brainer, subscribe. And that is it.